Thursday, the 23rd of March, 2023. So, you'll see here. Sorry, bad footage. You'll see this little baby. This one. There's a bit of flexibility in that. There's two there, and then this one here, and this one. Alright, so they were in this pot here. This pot, this black tub had heaps of plants in it. I had these. I had them in the ground. I had them in the thing like this. Hang on. You get the gist anyway. So I had it was a bit neater than that, but I had the plants in that black pot with that contraption around them to stop the dogs from digging them out. And then today I just found them everywhere. Found them one here, I just found them all over the place, and they're dry, and the roots are dry, and the only reason they're not on the ground yet, and I had them in that pot, that bucket, was because the dogs have dug up so many plants. Like every garden bed, this was a beautiful, beautiful garden bed. 25 years established garden bed. It was a beautiful, beautiful specimen of a garden bed. This garden bed here was absolutely stunning. You know, it was really big with grevilleas and geraniums and agapanthus, and it was just full. It was completely full of plants. And then, you know, all down the garden, down the side. Beds down the side, I keep finding another plant dug up, another plant dug up, another plant dug up. So, you know, you can see here, doesn't matter what I do to keep them out, you can see the space around there. So basically what's happening is I thought that I would keep all these babies that I bought. Some of these babies I bought at the market when my husband was still here. Because he left, I bought them, I think, the week before he left, and then the big ones he just saw just there, and then the other ones I just bought about 2 months ago, and I thought I'm going to buy some plants, and they're little tube stock plants. I need to get some plants in the garden. I love gardening so much, so I bought all these little tube stock plants. I'll show you again. Here, see this little tube stock plant? I bought 9 of them. They were $2 each. And you can see that most of them are gone. There's only 2 left out of 9. And their geraniums are all fine, but these plants here, this one here might come good, but they were completely spread out on the ground, with their poor little roots exposed, all dried up. So I've got them in water and mud. So I'm hoping that you can see that they've just been digging them up like crazy. And anyways, I just to turn the retic on. And as I've said, a lot of my retic's not working. That's the retic there. So there's 2 stations that aren't working properly. 3 that aren't working properly, and you know that's the messy view. So basically, down, I was as I picked up another dead plant, I just hold it to my heart, and then I kept finding more and more, and I just held it to my heart, and I was rocking them with the plants, grabbing up all the dead plants in my. Well, they're not dead. Some of them might not survive, but this one here's still got some flexibility in the leaves, so she might come good. This one's like, oh no, it might. I don't. Problem is the roots were completely dry. Anyways, they might come good, but it just broke my heart. Broke my heart. Get out of the garden! it just broke my heart because even this, I had flowers all along here. This was looking really pretty as well. So I did all of this. The previous owners hadn't done that. I mean, obviously, some of the plants were here already, like this one. And the monstera. But I planted everything else. And it goes back. Get out of the garden! Get out of the garden! I really need them to understand this, guys, because I can't stand it. I can't stand them destroying my garden. I just can't stand it. It's like... I don't even know if this is safe to do this. Do I have to put something on top of it? You know, I deliberately didn't put these babies in the ground. Deliberately. So that the dogs wouldn't dig them up and kill them until they were bigger. And then they dig them up and kill them in the black pot, even though they've got this massive big yard. They've got this huge big yard. They've got to go for my plants. And the small areas of the bloody garden that are actually in control, I've got some semblance of niceness because I've been here for 16 months and I did do a fair bit of gardening and I was making the place look really nice. And the people before there was some established areas and I just added to those established areas, and then I added to the established areas and I made new areas, and it was looking really good. Like, it was actually looking so good that I was going to have a garden day here. Like, I'm part of a garden group and I was actually going to have the garden group at my house because it looked that good. Now it looks awful. It just looks awful. And I'll tell you what else, I'm a gardener and I love gardening. And not only have the plants I've been planting getting killed, but just whacking that on because I'm doing this video because it's like it's not death because they might come good. Right, they might. I might have got them in time, but we've had some really hot days and the pavers out here get really bloody hot, hey? You know, you'd think they can't be that stupid. Look at this, for goodness sake, I don't want them to go there. Is that not obvious? Oh no, they'll probably go for this one. Even though they've got the whole yard, they'll probably go for that bit. Why? What's this about? Why are they doing this? You know, it's not just because they're pups. What's the reason behind it? I don't understand. Like, you know, like, I mean, the Panthers down there's all right, but this one's been demolished. Anyways, I've got a fence to put up, as you can see. I've got the cement there. I've got the fence palings there. And I want to fence all this area off. Yeah, the other day they dug these up too. They went in here in these pots here and dug them up. And then I had to put some bricks all around to stop them. The area up there is demolished. That was actually quite a nice garden around that olive tree as well. That's demolished. It's just disgusting. Look at it. That was full of trees and plants and shrubs as well in there. That one I just accepted them. Okay, I went, well, I'll let that go for now. I thought surely that's enough, like the rocks and the you know, you can see they're knocking all the rocks down. You know, if the previous owners came here now and saw this place now, they'd be just in shock at how disgusting it looks. So we have more destruction over here. These olive trees, like an olive tree that's actually in the ground is getting killed off. You can see the destruction. It's just everywhere. So it's just ridiculous. But then look, I've got plants in here that they're leaving alone. What's the rhyme or reason, everyone? A reason to it. I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, anyways, I'm going to fence off this area here, and part of my breakdown is I've got no energy, like very, very little energy. I've got hardly any. I'm really low in iron. Really, really low in iron. And the iron infusion's $110. And you can see I've got that left over from all that rubbish is left over from breaking down you know, the bathroom wall. That's just like putting it in the ute and taking it to the tip. That would make a big difference. But I just like, you can see this is disgusting in here. I got that really nice. I swept it and blowed it. See this? I'll turn around. That's where one of the plants were ripped up there. They've dug up the pot there. Another plant was there. Another plant was over here on this couch. The other day they did one there. So, yeah, it just heartbroken, and thought I'd do a video. I might put this on my YouTube. I wasn't going to do it live because I thought I'd give it a chance to decide whether I'm going to actually post it or not. But I just like, I don't feel defeated. I don't feel defeated, peoples. I love gardening and I just want to get into the garden. You know, I just want a garden. I started this. Did the orchard. Came down here. I've done all this recently. They haven't dug that up, but see how see this? They dug this up. This was a beautiful, happy plant here. They took the top off and I put it in the water. But I'll have to put that in the other water. Oh yeah, I'll show you this up. You can see all the holes everywhere in there. Yeah, and you know, you can see all the holes in here. Holes. Some of those holes. Anyways, yeah, it's just maddening. So I'm going to block all this area off, and then that side area, and I'll just have to start from scratch. And but I realise I can't even buy little babies, even get out of the garden. Even if the trees are bigger and I put them in the ground, oh, sorry, that's what I was going to say. So even if I get plants that are on a massive special and they're at a really good price, just no point in buying plants at the moment. There's just no point even thinking about the garden or trying to, like I had a really nice plant, and that's dug up and gone. Now I'm worried about everything else. Like, what are they going to do to everything? And, just, I was in a process in my bed this morning of surrendering, like realising I've been talking about at church and the Bible study groups and with some friends of mine, having to go through this real process of surrender. I'll just stick this little baby and hopefully she'll grow. She got chomped off. Hopefully she'll grow, and let's pray. I'm a bit worried about the dogs grabbing that, so maybe I'll just fold her down. I'll fold her down and put her under so she's not popping her head up. And maybe there's nothing exposed. The dogs will leave that area alone. You'd have to think that for a dog that's so obviously, maybe what they see, oh, look at that gap. Wouldn't it be, that's probably where they're going to, oh my God. Oh, she's made that as an obstacle challenge for us to break through to get what's under there. Maybe she's made this really fun toy. Maybe that's, I was just going to show some more dead plant that's buried everywhere. I'll stick this one under here as well. And you would have to think, right? You would have to think, if that's in there like that, all right. Surely. So this was my outdoor bloody seating area where I used to be able to, probably should do this when I'm not having a video, there you go. Let's pray that they leave those little babies alone and maybe they actually get a chance to they survive. That was actually this table and those two chairs I actually had over there, and sit there and have a cup of tea. So I haven't even got a nice area to have a cup of tea unless I get an area that's enclosed where I put all my baby plants until they get bigger in the ground. But then it's, just got to fence it off, obviously. You know, I just don't understand people. So I'm just, I was in bed today suffering from I stayed up really late yesterday. I tried really hard to get a heap done last night, and I'll show it to you. And I worked really hard. I pushed myself really hard to get this job done because I had 2 days in a row where I didn't have any places where I had to be, set times where I had to be. So I was like, I just want to make this house move forward. So I'll start with the important room, the one that was making my real focus. You've seen all this before, but this is where we're at. So we're at the last lot of mastics. I've done the first coat of paint to see what it would look like. The first coat of paint, which showed up, and then I put some more mastics down to cover up some areas that were still, and you can't really see it, but that's been the last lot of mastics on top of the first coat of paint, sanded, washed, and ready to be painted today. So that's ready to go. Oh, and that's right, I knew there was something that was taking the hours yesterday. The window frames have been completely finished, sanded back, chiseled into their right shape. Down here I could be worried about this, but I thought, no, I'm just going to paint. I just need to get the house finished, you see. So see, this is where I did all the gap filling. See how you can see that it was all big holes in there? You can see. It was like, so the whole so this window frame is finished and washed and ready to be painted. And down here as well, you can see I had to build up. This was missing a whole corner, and I had to build up the area up there because there was a big gap between the glass and the frame. So that's been all mastic, sanded back, shaped really nicely. There's really nice shapes in there now with there's all these nice shapes. See the shapes? They're really solid shapes. Nice crisp solid shapes, sanded back and ready to be painted. So that's set to go. That takes longer than you realise. I might do a bit more. This got cracked with some heat gun work when the heat gun was too close to the window when my husband was first starting to help out, and then we learnt the hard way not to go too close to the window. So I might put a little bit more mastics on there, but I'm going to have to try to strengthen it from the back because it's pushing out. That's a shame, that one. But then over here, the window was already, you can see there was already lots of cracks in the window from the previous, there was already cracks in the window, so the window's there. Anyway, so this has all been, I've been putting a lot of mastics on here that needs to go on, that needs sanding and washing, so that window's not ready to be painted, but the window frame is. But this window's ready to go. I touched up where it needs to be sanded, where it plastered, and I've sanded that back. That's ready for a bit more paint over here. So that's ready to be washed and painted. And then over here, you can see last night I did some more paint stripping on here. Okay, a lot more paint stripping. So that's needs a bit more paint stripper on it, and then that window is going to be at its original jarrah, and then it can be sanded. That's going to be so nice. This is the paint stripper. I've got to get more, so I won't worry about that. And then out here last night I was doing all this paint stripping, all of this. That's the second lot of paint strip. So got more to do. I come from a distance, and that's coming good. That's all there. I've got to pressure clean that off later, and in the bucket. It looks a bit disgusting, but yeah, that's all coming good. and then that's good enough. That I realise this is good enough. This to be. I'll turn it around. This is. I could leave this jar because the inside, my builder friend said, let it go. There's too much. Some of it's pine and some of it's jarrah, and there was too many old nail holes or filled with this and that and he says just paint it. Just make it simple for yourself. But this outside bit of the window, I realise I think it's hard. That's grey. I don't know what the colour. I'm assuming that's going to be jarrah under there, but otherwise I'll paint that. But this, I can leave that as jarrah. That's going to be jarrah. So that's external outside stuff that's not super important. But it's just good to get one area finished. Like having the deck finished will be really nice. But this kitchen area, that's really important to get that finished, and the library. So I stayed up really late last night doing that, and the fumes and lots of work on the wrists and stuff. And then I'm in bed and I'm just feeling tired. I'm just feeling really tired, and woke up this morning with no energy. And then I went out to do which I'll do now. I went out to to turn the retic on before I fed the dogs, and just saw all that destruction, and I just started to break. I even forgot to use my vagus nerve, my all the skill sets that my therapist has told me that I'm still yet to do a YouTube on. Actually, still yet to do a YouTube on the vagus nerve process. But yeah, I even forgot to do that. I was so stressed out. So pray, destroy that. So yeah, this is my retic system at the moment. This is the plumber put this in for me. So unless that's on no water, because I was getting a lot of water wastage, because a lot of pressure in there, hey. So yeah, there's only a couple of stations that are working properly. It's really strange. I find I'll put number 5 on. I've got to turn it off. And on to 5. So I got the retic thing. I'm so grateful that some of the stations are working. But I've got to get the retic worked out by next summer, and I'll have the fence once put in. I'll reorganise that garden bed, and yeah, see, I've got the retic watering this one, and I've got my sprinkler hose for the nursery one. And number 2, which is all down there, doesn't work, so I have to water that myself, and I haven't been, so I will today. I haven't been watering like I should be, because I've just been so tired. Hey, surrender. The chook pen, I just let the chook pen go. I've let dealing with the rubbish go. I come out this backyard, and it actually, I'm not going to say it depresses me, because I'm deliberately focusing on not getting depressed. Like, so anything that's overwhelming, I go, okay, I'll do that later, boof. And I just, I really just put it out of my head as much as I can, and go, okay, what is priority? What can I focus on? So really just focusing on what can I do, surrendering to my health issues, and the fact that I'm really low in energy. This is one of my beautiful plants that they killed. On the label. So it basically, I guess what I'm trying to say is that it does stress me out, and if I think about it and I look at it, it does weird me out and make me feel yucky. But then I try to step above it. I try to step above that yucky feeling, and I try to go into a place of just, well, it's like I'm surrendering to the reality. So I'm going, okay, my body's tired. My body, not just tired, my body's completely run down. Like today I was praying, I was in my bed and I was praying to God, please give me energy for this day. I found it really interesting that when I go out, okay, I'll do the watering. But then I'm thinking, well, maybe it was good that I found those plants now, because if I found them later, they've already had all. I think those dogs did that yesterday. They're that dry that they've been out there since yesterday, not just last night, not just this morning. Sorry. So you're finding them today is good. You know, this is I always like to look at the good and everything. And you could say, oh, they're just plants. It's okay if they're dead, but it's just such macabre destruction for no purpose. Like beautiful little babies in that tub ready to go on the ground and be beautiful. And then the ones I have put in the ground that have been quite even big, the dogs have dug up anyway. So it's like I've lost so many plants to those dogs in the last couple of months, hey. I've lost so many plants, and the gardener's just looking, and not even just plants that I put in the ground, but mature plants have been there for over 20 years. Like, we're talking about really macabre destruction, and we're talking about that middle garden bed, that was beautiful. That was full of colour. The previous owners would just cry if they saw what the backyard looked like now compared to what it was when we bought the place. Yeah, I guess I didn't take that part of having dogs into account, that when you're a gardener, what dogs can do to a garden, I guess. It's like murder. To me, it's like murder. And to take that beauty away. Like, I've got so much to do on this house and this land, and my health issues are so really slowing me down, knocking me out. Like, poof. So when something's already established and beautiful, and that goes, I just like, why, God? Why? Like, why? And what I'm thinking is trying to work out the lesson. I'm trying to work out what it is I'm supposed to. Yeah, so I definitely need the fence in. I definitely can't do any more gardening until I do the fence. Which is so sad. But that's okay, because it will make me focus on getting inside the house ready on this limited amount of energy I have. And anyways, I've been doing a lot of prayer. I'll do a whole nother YouTube on that. The God showed me that I'm in God's eyes at the moment. I'm a baby, a fledgling. I'm building up, and so I got given the clue. I'll discuss the vision that came to me that showed me that God's basically saying, you have the time to be nourished and nurtured right now. This is your time as a baby to grow and be nourished and nurtured under my sovereignty, and this is your time for receiving, and so that's part of the reason why I'm going through the process of surrendering, like just accepting, like every limitation that's been proffered to me. I'm going, okay, that's for me to surrender even more, being limited even more, to be forced to surrender, to be forced to just rest and restore. So, like, I've got the blinding headache. I'm not well. My body's aching like crazy, and I'm gonna keep working on the house today. And when I saw those little plants on the ground, that broke my heart. I was so devastated, and I was just gonna do it. And I was like, no, I think I'll do a video. This is what my YouTube channel's about. I'll show you guys if I'd shown you as I was finding them, you know, just laying around like little corpses, and the fact that they're in that bucket and not in the ground because I left them in the bucket deliberately to keep them safe, and they got destroyed and I got attacked anyways. Yeah, it just felt too much. It just felt too much, and I don't know. I don't want to slip into despair, people. If I post this on YouTube, I'll just, yeah, I'll post it now. And what I'm going to ask you to do is pray for me, please, because I'm just finding when I lose the beautiful plants, they're so precious and they're so innocent. And they bring me so much joy. And the YouTube yesterday, joy of gardening brings me joy. Plants bring me joy. And then when they're getting killed because my dogs, who I love completely, it just does my head in that these animals are doing so much destruction and they're actually destroying stuff that's actually brings me the biggest joy. Like I love going for my walks with the dogs, and it's hard to explain. I love my dogs. The interactiveness and the inquisitiveness and the expressions and the, we have reciprocal love, and it's playful and joyful. And gardening, my plants and gardening, it's a different type of joy. It's a serene joy, it's a quiet joy, it's a getting really connected with the plants and the earth and creating beauty, creating something. I'm actually creating magic and beauty, and the plants are the art, the the not the substrate, the art tool. I'm using plants to create beauty. And then anyways, the plants that are mature and the plants that I add, they nourish me. They actually nourish me. You see, they nourish me. My animals don't nourish me. They are interactive. We have a really interactive connection. And they so nature nourishes me, all right? So when they're old enough and mature enough and pretty enough and healthy enough, they then start bringing their magic to me and creating magic through me. Like, I'll do a whole YouTube on that symbiotic dynamic with plants. Now with animals, it is the same, of course. Animals love us, we love them. It's interactive. It's a sort of it's an active process. It's not such a serene process. So I don't know if that makes. So I love my gardening and my plants as much as I love my dogs. Okay, and as much as I love myself. But it's just different energy. And so if you've got like my dogs, Alvin and Zena, who I love so very much, killing the baby plants that I love so very much. Could you imagine if my plants were killing my dogs? Like, I would be up. But the thing is, that was a silly analogy. I just think, come on, get along. Just get along. Leave them alone. Like, they're part of the family. Leave them alone, please. Like, stop destroying something that's so important to me and you. It makes a beautiful home for us. Stop destroying what's important for us. It just makes me feel crazy because it's just such, it's just like, of all the toys you've got and everything you can do, why destroy beautiful plants that bring me complete joy and make a beautiful home for you and make it that I'm happy to have people come and visit, and where we coexisting. Let's coexist on the land. Let's use the land together. Like, I'll keep gardening, making it beautiful. You run around, play with your toys, and enjoy the garden. But don't destroy the garden. pray. Please, everyone, pray that they stop destroying plants. I just can't handle it anymore. I want to be able to garden this land. I want to be able to keep working the land, and I want to be able to keep gardening, knowing that what I plant's not going to be dug up in one day. Or I want having the dogs and having a garden coexist. And I really, really need energy. I need my health. I really, really need my health back. I need my health and my vitality and my strength back. Please keep in your prayers. Okay, we'll leave it at that, shall we? 3606, Amen. Lots of love, 369 Tribe. I'll post this with surrender or something like that. Love you. Bye. Keep well.